It's July 27th, 2025, and
continue for 14 miles.
oh damn that Google Maps. And we're on the road, headed for Cumberland, Maryland. We also drove through parts of West Virginia, although since I don't have a license for music, I can't exactly play country roads. Not without losing any and all of my ad revenue anyways. We got to Cumberland and it's rainy as hell. Over there is CSX's Cumberland yard, where trains and cars from said trains are sorted out so that the cars can reach their destinations. The yard used to be a hump yard, I think so anyways, but the hump has since been flattened. Currently, CSX is upgrading the amount of space the yard can handle so that CSX trains that currently go over the former New York Central line could instead go along the former B&O line. Yeah. I actually asked Grandpa Cass if he could turn to where the locomotive shops were, and he actually agreed to do so, and I got out in thankfully not very heavy rain to get some of CSX's locomotives. There are a few GEVOs, AC4400s, and at least one SD40-2.
Oh my god. This could be the only time I ever see these Dash 8s in operation.
In addition, there are still some locomotives at this shop complex that are still in YN2 paint. What was once a norm is now becoming rare.
But hopefully it won't be the last time I see a heritage unit like this.
Now, let's talk about some of the locomotives here, shall we? This locomotive here is 8214, part of the SD40-2 line of locomotives. The SD40-2 was the GEVO of the 1970s and 80s, but now the SD40-2s are mostly used on local freights, but you do occasionally see them on mainline freights. It's just that there's more of a chance that they're being transferred elsewhere. This SD40-2 in particular was originally built for the Louisville-Nashville Railroad.
Dude, that's bad luck. Chill out, bro. Who summoned me?
Numbered 3586. Then 3586 came under ownership of the Seaboard system, and finally it went to CSX when the chassis and the Seaboard merged with each other, hence the C and S in CSX. 3586 was later renumbered to 8214. Next to 8214 is CSX 1836, one of CSX's fleet of 21 heritage units that CSX put out from 2023 to 2024. CSX is the most recent Class 1 railroad to do heritage units. I wonder how many people are furiously typing right now after I said that. Prior to 2023, the closest thing they had were units where they'd slap a sticker of a previous railroad on one of their locomotives like Dash 8s, GEVOs, and AC 4400 CWs. 1827 X3059 was the first of these locomotives, which was released in May of 2023. Unlike most others, CSX decided to have the hood of the locomotive in the heritage paint, while the cab remained in YN3. Initially, CSX would do a fade from the YN3 to the heritage paint, but all the heritage units past 1871 X3054, including 1869 X3061, have received a hard cut, which I often like to call blankets. This design, though, wasn't exactly well liked by many rail fans. CSX? What is that? Oh, what? This thing here? This thing's a heritage unit. Yeah, sorry, I can't do southern accents for shit. You know, the thing y'all been begging for me to do for years at this point? Heritage unit? Heritage unit? That's not a heritage unit! What y'all mean? Of course it's a heritage unit. Is not. Is too. Is not. Is too. Is not. It's not fully painted. Really? Cause I don't remember relieving a piece of bare skin on the locomotive, so I swear I got the whole thing. Now, the cab is not painted, so it is not fully painted. Oh, it's painted, just in YN3 and not the heritage paint. I want people to know that the railroads of my past are what laid me to here, and I believe that these heritage units symbolize that to me. I want these units to share symbolism for myself, that although I am here right now for the front, the railroads of my past are behind me, showing that although I am here right now, I don't forget about the past, or the past roads that made up what I am right. This is literally a war crime what you did! We demand you to fully paint your fronts and so-called heritage units! What? I tried to do something nice for y'all. And you did not do it properly! Properly? I was trying to do something different from the rest of the railroads that did heritage units. Huh? Well, looky here. What do y'all do? Oh well, we sprayed one of your locomotives and made a proper heritage unit, unlike you. How is it proper? The cab is painted unlike your improper heritage unit. This unit automatically is better than all of your units combined. Then why do y'all ask for heritage units if when I actually did the heritage units, y'all are gonna cry like teenage girls and vandalize my things? It's not vandalism, it's art! Ah! Oh, I need to get back to work. I already got no CS engine that has a number 1, so I might as well send this engine for rebuild. CSX! Oh, what? What do y'all want from me? Well, CSX, look what has happened to your 1869 in Oshawa. I think this is sending a message that we can easily make your heritage units better by having us paint them and not you.
Make heritage units, they said. People like you more, they said.
So I think you should do yourself a favor and bring all your heritage units to Oshawa so that we can... Wait, what are you doing to 1869 with that rag? No.
And they asked me why we hate foamers.
You maniac!
Hey CSX. Hello CSX. How you doing? Oh fine. Turns out that whole focusing on customers thing is working better than PSR. Though the rail fans are being straight up pains. I tried doing something nice for them by making heritage units, and you know how they responded? They say things like, they're not proper, they're not fully painted, as if doing something different from the rest is now a crime. Hell, I heard someone say that they'd rather see a scrap stay mentioned than my heritage units. I'd call them foamers, but they wouldn't even see that as an insult anymore. Well, it's all gonna be alright, CSX. Just continue what you're doing, especially with making rail service better. Alright. Hey rail fans, we made a cover our assets from East Palestine. I mean heritage unit.
Oh my god! A new heritage unit? It's exactly how we want the heritage unit to be? I wanted it to be in D&H colors! And it's fully painted? Oh my god, I must be dreaming! A new heritage unit that's exactly how we desire it to be? Hey Norfolk Southern, can we borrow this for a sec?
Why?
We need to show this to a certain someone.
Alright, sure.
Whoop-de-doo!
By the way, you guys who made 4851, yeah, you're fired. Alright, I got a way to increase the clearance in the tunnels in Baltimore way faster. All I gotta do is get some equipment to do the construction, and then...
What now? Well, look what we have here. A proper heritage unit.
I'm gonna blow a Kentucky Fried gasket. Wait, I don't even like KFC. I like Popeyes.
And better yet, this was made by Norfolk Southern. You know what this means?
That's layoff day at Norfolk Southern?
No, it's
that they're still trying to cover up for East Palestine?
Shut up! No, it's not either of those things. It means that Norfolk Southern knows how to make proper heritage units, unlike you.
I'm now on to cancel plans for that STEAM program I had in mind, but this is going to be all the reactions to my heritage units.
And so this is why we should tell you, CSX, to take notes on this. That to make heritage units be proper, you need to fully...
Well, the only notes I'm taking is to go to the dictionary office and put a photo of y'all as the very definition of spoiled brats. Because that's what y'all are.
I can't fully paint the heritage units! What part of fully paint your heritage
My
units
point
is so
exactly.
difficult to comprehend
I'd
and
show an
understand?
eye roll if the editor wanted to. Anyways, equipment setup, reroute for trains planned. Might as well play Devil Went Down to Georgia as I'm rebuilding these tunnels. Though I might as well have a whole host of music to play because this is going to take a while. Much better.
If you couldn't tell by that, many rail fans, mainly NS foamers, at least according to Jericho, but you definitely see a lot of non-East Coast rail fans in that category too, were about as happy with the way CSX designed their heritage units as Shea Frills Productions is happy with the Cars franchise existing. And no, I'm not just referring to a really old video. He actually did reconfirm his disdain for the Cars franchise in a 2022 ranking video and his Pixar's Shorts ranking video. Personally, I like these units, and the fact that they designed it this way is pretty unique, and it does let them stand out. Anyways, this particular unit represents the Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railroad, and was originally CSX 3055. The unit next to 1836 is CSX 5468, an ES44 DC type locomotive, which is kinda like a more efficient version of a Dash 9. At least, not one that isn't rebuilt, let alone meets Tier 4 standards, but that's alright. This is CSX 8460. This was originally a Mopac SD40 before it became CNW, and then Paducah and Louisville, and finally CSX, being upgraded to an SD40-2. And here are two CSX GE wide cabs with YN2 paint. This here is CSX 346, an AC 4400 CW locomotive built in 1998. It still wears her YN2 scheme. This is CSX 7896. Despite CSX's constant on and off, putting Dash 8s into storage and then putting them out again, it is possible that this time it could be her last, as the CM44ACs are coming in. And given that a lot of her sisters were also cut up for scrap, I'm pretty lucky to have seen one of the few remaining CSX Dash 8s.
They're sent back to storage or cut up for scrap.
There's another YN2 AC 4400 CW. Unfortunately, I can only see its rear. I was gonna head back to Grandpa Cass's truck then, but then I heard a steel bell and knew that a locomotive was moving. Although many railroads have gotten rid of a lot of facilities that had turntables, there are still a handful of places across many railroad systems in North America where you can find turntables, where diesels are turned to face the right way. Despite steam engines no longer existing, this technology is still really useful for the freight railroads. We soon leave the CSX yard area and head for the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad.
So where are we going then?
We're going to Western Narrows.
You've got the directions?
Yeah, that's the, yeah.
That's quite a yard.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the clouds in the mountains.
It's especially cool that the yard still has a turntable, like how you'd see roundhouses during the steam days.
Wait a minute, wait a second. Hold on. Wow, beautiful up here.
This is the Cumberland station of the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. Originally built in 1913 for the Western Maryland, it served a variety of trains like the Baltimore Limited and Chicago Limited, as well as trains to Connellsville and Elkins. There is even a branch from the Pennsylvania Railroad that served this station. After the Great Depression, though, passenger service to the station declined for years until the last passenger train went through the station in 1959. After 1959, it was used by the Western Maryland for offices and as a control tower until 1976. In the 1980s, after the line was abandoned by the chassis system as it was duplicated to the B&O, the station was purchased by the city for a new scenic railroad using Western Maryland trackage, which ultimately became the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. It was partially restored in 1990, but it wasn't fully restored until 1996. It has remained as the terminus for WMSR trains ever since, with the inside housing many Western Maryland artifacts from the Western Maryland, as well as house passengers until the trains arrive. And speaking of trains, here comes our train right now.
Must be I think that's a 6 chime.
The locomotive that will be leading our train is XCNO Railroad 1309. It was the very last locomotive built by the Baldwin Locomotive Works, but only got 7 years of service as it was retired in 1956. But it was saved, and for years was preserved at the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore until 2014, when she was bought by the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad and moved to the WMSR for restoration. She ran for the first time in decades on New Year's Day of 2021, and since then has been the workhorse steam locomotive for the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. And also, here are 2 pics of myself in front of 1309. At 10:20 a.m., it's time to board the train. We will be riding in first class, which is the closest to the locomotive, or at the very least, the closest to 1309.
Hello. I'm with him.
Hello. Thank you. You're gonna go up to the left through the car, up the stairs.
Yeah.
Have your name. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see that. Ah, that's better.
Names on the tables.
Expected to be plugs.
Grandpa Cass and I have made it to our seats, which are in the dome car.
Yeah.
You gotta smile this one though.
I've worn one of those at gym before.
Yeah, I think I heard some radio chatter. I thought I heard some radio chatter. Maybe they're about to head out.
Which, for some reason, they removed the name Nick under the number 16. Yeah.
Oh wait, it's not.
And now it's
Still
just
not time.
regular.
All right,
Yeah, that's under what
I saw the whistle blowing. It looks like we're rolling out.
That's what I heard.
Well, I called the folks in the scene, whatever, and talked to them, and they came and opened up. They said, well, it's early, but
1 minute until departure.
they opened the door, said, you gotta put up with the dirt. Who's wrong with that?
1 minute until departure.
I definitely saw what looked like 2 toots.
Okay, I was gonna say, my hearing's not very good, so I couldn't hear.
Didn't even hear an announcement of, like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Well, there is a speaker, so maybe they will.
Yeah. Yeah. Either that or they're working, whatever you want.
They'll do something. Yeah, we probably can't see it from here, but as we're going up the mountain, just for... Oh, I never thought we'd make it. There's a cave over on the right-hand side with the Smithsonian found animals. It was pretty opposite.
You know what, Mom? Do you favor? Take my
Railroad from like next season, Southern 722 will return, or as I call her, the old Murphy. Since that was the Murphy Ranch.
We just moved.
Oh, stop.
What the crossing thing?
Watch now, he's gonna go this way. We're gonna be
Stop. There we go.
Well, you know what? It's not most
Maybe a car.
Yeah, they have to, I think, physically lock them.
A lot of them. Yeah, the places down here, they want automated gates everywhere, so they have like people that just chase every crossing.
Like the northern section. The only crossing that is like a modern one is one at Glen Rock. Even though it's busy. Again.
What's the issue with the crossing?
I think the guy out there was a crossing.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it feels like it should be all clear, but yet we keep starting and stopping and starting and stopping.
They can clear the right.
coming back.
Oh, I love this club. Hey! I'm making a turn. I'm making a ferry. Why we stop?
Yeah.
To let you enjoy the car longer. They thought it'd be better with the hydraulic.
Finally, the whistle blows for the actual departure, and we're off.
Agent Steam in Ohio, they said they have 230 horse motors right now.
All right, very quickly, I'm going to do not quite yelling, but I am going to talk in all uppercase letters very quickly, so consider yourselves warned. All right?
We're good.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, sorry to interrupt the start to your day. My name is Josh. I'm the onboard services manager. I'll also be running you your drinks today. Congratulations. The hardest part about today is seating. We've gotten that figured out, so the rest is easy. You'll notice you have a complimentary charcuterie board on your table. We didn't really do that before, but it's something we're starting to do now, so if you have any feedback, recommendations, anything, let me know. On your table, you will have a drink menu. All the prices are on there. It's pretty self-explanatory. The only thing you need to... Actually, it doesn't even have prices. Soft drinks are included in your ticket price. The one thing I will say is that supplies on board are limited. This is not a full-blown restaurant. What I have is what I have. When I run out, I run out. So I'm also one person. I will be running around a lot, so please take it easy on me. There's a list of mixed drinks, cocktails on the far left. The wine selection we have, bottles and glasses until I run out are half off. That means glasses of wine are $4. It's not a bad deal. So if you would like any, let me know. Take a look at your menus. I'll be back in a few minutes just to go around and see what you'd like. Like I said, when I run out of wine selections, I run out. I'm trying to get rid of it. Right? Most important part, arguably, is the restroom situation. You all passed it on the way in. You'll go down the stairs, back the way you came. Restrooms on the very far end of the car on the left. On the way up the mountain, I ask that everyone stays in their seats unless it's to use the restroom. On the way down the mountain, I will give you the freedom to go back to coach class, the open air car, if you'd like to enjoy that on the way down. Alrighty? If anyone has never ridden in a dome car before, you are going to get a lot more of this throughout the trip than you would if you were in a single level car. If at any point you start to feel nauseous, please feel free to move downstairs. Alrighty? Any questions at all from me right now? Sweet. Take a look at your menus. I'll be around as I have time to tell you the scenic highlights of the tour. If I miss anything, I will happily do it on the way down.
I've been on a car before.
Thank you.
And Jim.
Well, they have continuously loaded rail. We have stick rail, so you're going to get a bit more harmonic.
We've done just like this. That's all one thing. The wireless will take you from like Reading or Ottawa and the gym for the new league there. And for me, and there's all
I don't want to ride the train and do the trolley thing.
Well, I've been thinking about that.
It's a good run.
They need to do that.
So he says when you're up here high, you get more of the Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
They have not seen a sign of an antique.
It finds the smoke from the train.
Yes.
Until the clouds are coming.
Oh, we're going in a tunnel.
No, that's a bridge. We pass underneath CSX's Mountain sub shortly before exiting Cumberland.
Which are oldest engine in the collection beneath the Pennsylvania Railroad line. 1062 starting to act up again, even though it just had a little wheel cleaning work again.
It's the same thing on both sides.
They got the old rear in America.
And 754 has
If
been
you're
a
in
lot
the
of,
open car,
has been in more models than 754.
Yeah.
if you're in the open car, you get all the seats.
Yeah. You'd definitely be able to smell the smoke.
Like sort of like Southern.
As we go along, you're gonna see a lot of people, and that's because the route of the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad also goes along the Great Allegheny Passageway. A lot of this passageway also goes along the Western Maryland right-of-way, especially a lot of the abandoned areas of the Western Maryland. Unfortunately, after the Western Maryland was absorbed into the chassis system, vast majorities of the Western Maryland's lines were abandoned in favor of the ex-B&O right-of-way. The part of the Western Maryland between Baltimore and Cherry Run is by far the biggest and probably the only section used by CSX nowadays. Most of the Western Maryland was torn up long ago.
I think they only use the diesel like when they're not running the steam engine.
Western Maryland to CNO. I mean, we were in there early.
Old Punchfield Hopper. I can barely read that.
Like 4 o'clock. They shut
Buggies!
Did you see?
Dog! And the tree a little bit too...
I take it these don't turn over, right?
No, these don't turn over.
Jackie, no, the one picture is she put them sitting there. You'll be able to get a good picture of the engine.
And also the diesel at the back.
Diesel at the back.
I have seen diesel at the back.
They call it cross-tie T.
Oh look! Picture opportunity!
Okay. That's what's good about the past too. They still use the, well, interesting, they still use the brakes on the cars.
Oh yeah.
But they'll have the engine, they close the engine at the back, just in case. It's not a safety feature, but they actually
also
have
an
brake
old locking
parts,
practice.
triangular brakes on the stations.
There's also an old locking practice.
Yeah, when I rode it first time.
As we go along, you're also going to see a bit of cinders from the locomotive come onto the dome car, and that's because the lead locomotive is a coal burner after all.
He said, we're switching brakes because you've asked him so many questions that he doesn't know the answer to. And you're embarrassing. Yes, I didn't mean to. How did you get started?
That happens.
Back in 2022,
The last one, I'm new here.
Thank you. I got the Disney 50th anniversary.
That is a big step
50th
there.
anniversary.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get a soda. Oh, wait. Sure? Yeah, thanks. That little tossing turn, and I'm like, oh, maybe downstairs.
He's been.
And then a little tradition my dad did until like now is an O-scale one O-scale locomotive for my birthday,
11-foot by 7-foot table narration control.
which our minimum curve is 036 and our something that fits on 048.
I think it's actually an 054 from the faking.
The version I own is the Frisco one. Since 1630.
Is it longer? Is it being worked? I know it's
Yeah, it's currently finally going on our bridge. Yeah, over me too. So we own a crew that's a tiny bit bigger, but it does not like reversing that much. Like one time with the rail on the switch.
Oh yeah, no, I'll come to you. Yeah.
Which, even though it was straight, the engine did
Seen those bridges a long time.
some.
Nope.
Anybody like anything to drink? Gentlemen, would you like anything to drink?
Sweet tea.
Apparently, 1409 lower able so that was
Can I?
Oh yeah, you should. You said 13.
Sorry, I'm having difficulty choosing.
This was in Pennsylvania.
But can I have a? Cabernet Sauvignon?
Absolutely, yeah. Sounds good, thank you.
It's kind of complicated.
They would. They would, but if she knew I had a glass of wine and drove, she'd hit me in the head. With your grandson, you had a glass of wine? She's very anxious.
Oh, at least I'll be the one drinking and not you.
So what's the something?
So I think my mom would be concerned that I had alcohol.
Years old, but you already made it across, so no need to worry about it. This straightaway we're on right here is the longest straightaway on our route today, and it's only about half a mile. The rest of it we snake through the mountain, so enjoy the straight. This is all you're gonna get. Since I'm gonna be busy making all of your drinks, I'm gonna get ahead of a few things. One, I'm not quite there. When we go up and make a left-hand turn, a big sweeping left-hand turn, like I said, this is a straightaway. As soon as we start making a left, if you look off this side of the train, you'll be able to see a hole in the side of the mountain face there. That is Cumberland Bone Cave. What was found in that cave, it's pretty extensive. Over 30 species that are now extinct, 3 of which worth mentioning are saber-toothed tiger remains, short-faced bear, and woolly mammoth remains. All 3 of those fossils they have found are on display at the Natural History Museum in Washington, D.C. So when you pass that is Cumberland Bone Cave. Once we get around Bone Cave, on both sides of the train, you guys on this side, down the hill, you guys over here, up the hill, you will see blue and black tubing going from tree to tree. When you see those blue and black tubes, you'll be passing through the largest maple syrup harvesting operation in the state of Maryland. It's called S&S Maple. If you order any of our old fashions on the train, we use their maple syrup to make it if you want maple syrup. Very nice people. We're getting it back in stock in the gift shop, so if you ever come back, be on the lookout for it because it is good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yep.
Thanks.
Maple syrup.
Oh, so they had to shut it down, and there's a
This is everywhere
concrete
I've been.
plant on the other side.
There's always a story.
So they shut it down because the barricade. Then they tried to keep it so people could get across, they were like, no, don't stop across. It was more fun time.
I do want to go back to 18 or just practice 19 is record.
You get to see an awful lot of
Yeah, like every couple of years.
what America was,
We rated it.
how it
It was made of. It was made of.
where we are.
It was made of.
That's
And that's what they used for beach.
like I said,
Another railroad I do want to go to is the number 3 wire. Each number 4 will actually run a shirt.
The lady back there, she had inspected
The good something tells me it might be the back.
going up down the grapevine, beautiful. That's a
Oh, yeah.
Then they wouldn't need a diesel in the back to help it.
No, they just ran it out the shed.
It seems like one number 4 is buffalo only. Everything else is fine for the engine, it just needs a new boiler.
Yeah, this is more of one of the easiest jobs that the engine has. That must be the cinders from the engine.
There's bone cave right there. Is it down there? Doesn't work so well.
Got it.
Large speed is every now and then. But I don't like it. And it's got
I'll read the sign that said S&S Maple Camp.
I didn't see it. Did you?
I'm not from Brooklyn.
I saw it.
Was there something hanging on the tree? Oh,
No,
the blue and white, was it?
blue and white sign.
Oh, I saw that little something.
Coming up on this crossing.
Same thing that Homewood and told I still can't say the name, but
Cumberland and Caltech.
I'm gonna always screw it up.
I'm the same way. I don't even try anymore.
Or at the Age of Steam, wheels from one of their engines was at Age of Steam.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so this curve we are currently rounding is the largest horseshoe curve on our route today. That road we just crossed is called Cache Valley Road, and this is Helmstetter's Curve. The reason it's named Helmstetter's Curve is after the Helmstetter family, which owned the farm to the right-hand side of the train here for over 100 years. They only recently gave up the practice, selling it about 6 years ago. When we get around through the trees here, you'll see a bright red barn in the center of the property. That barn burned down in 2006. When that barn burned down, the Western Maryland held several photo freight fundraisers to raise money to buy materials for the barn. This Frostburg flyer train has been running for the better part of 30 years at the same time on the same days. The train crew that went up the mountain that day when they dropped off the raw materials to build the farm went up the hill, same time we are now, and there was just a pile of lumber in the yard of that field. When they came back down, there was a fully built barn. The reason for this is because the local community came to help them raise the barn, and a majority of the local community here at the time was Amish. So they came back and there was a fully built barn, and that is the barn that still stands from when it was raised. One other fun fact, you're traveling on top of a wooden trestle bridge right now.
Oh!
So this is my favorite part of my day, when I get to see you guys look disappointed when you don't see one. The reason you do not see one is when this road was first constructed in 1911, at least this portion of it, Cache Valley was a valley. Everything we just traveled over top of, it was a raised embankment, and the reason for that is it was a wooden trestle bridge, but as the Western Maryland went up and through the mountains, anytime you see rock cuts here where it looks steep and unnatural on either side of the train, that's because it is. They blasted dirt and rock out of the mountains with dynamite in their bare hands. They backfilled the trestle bridge with basically earth to make sure they wouldn't have to pay any more maintenance costs in the future. So there is a wooden trestle bridge maybe still underneath that portion of railroad.
I was going to say this, and they told me that before, and when I had the kids up, we came up and there's a park over there that you can walk over around about a third of that curve, and then the walkway that goes up to the light trail that goes all the way up to Frostburg. And so we were down there like
I then got some wine that was being served. And, despite it being summer, a cup of hot chocolate with the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad logo on the cup.
I do not want to miss. We're going through an S curve right now, which means we're going to the left and then we're going to snake to the right, making one big S. When we make that right-hand turn shortly after, we'll be going through the one and only tunnel on our route today, known as Brush Tunnel. Brush Tunnel was built in 1911. It's 914 feet long. And if you notice, there is a path that has been following us since Cumberland and will follow us to Frostburg. It's currently on this side of the train. That path, it's a gravel path. When you see it, it's known as the Great Allegheny Passage, or the Gap Trail. it used to be a second set of railroad tracks when this was a legitimate freight railroad. That path is going to follow us through Brush Tunnel, making Brush Tunnel the only railroad tunnel in the United States of America that can house an active rail line with a train in it, with pedestrians on the path in the tunnel at the same time, legally. That last part's very important. So there will also be there'll be a sign up here prior to the tunnel portal saying do not enter a tunnel while trains approach, and there's 2 reasons. When we're running a steam engine, 1309 is the only steam engine in Maryland and is technically the largest regularly operating steam locomotive in the country. When we go through the tunnel, the appetite for oxygen in the firebox is so severe that it will leave people in the tunnel short of breath when we go through if they're caught with that engine in the tunnel. Another reason, diesel engines, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide poisoning, but that's less fun than a steam engine. So, yep, be coming up here in just a moment.
I kept seeing this trail. Yeah, there's a guy right there.
All right, there's the tunnel.
One of the things that the train does is
When I was mowing across the street, I was like getting around the trees real tight.
and they'll put your bike on.
You see the tunnel?
And as you get to the top, they'll put your bike off and give it to you and ride down. Now this is a tunnel.
Yeah, we went through the tunnel now.
Once an engine attached to the train into a tunnel, sweep through a funnel.
And never came out again.
They put lights in. Wow. They weren't in it.
They walk through here at the same time?
No, they don't. I don't think you're allowed to walk inside the tunnel while there's a train inside.
Sounded like he said it was legally okay, just not advised.
Oh, okay.
With the steam engine. It's going to suck the air out.
Yeah, look at all the smoke along the side.
Like I just finished watching the Twilight Zone and I'm like, this is one of those things they entered. The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we just have a hard time breathing for a couple seconds.
In the 1800s, we're going to come out on the other side.
I can only imagine what it was like for railroad engineers on the Denver and Rio Grande Western who had to drive coal-burning steam locomotives through the Moffat Tunnel, since that tunnel was not electrified. And
Well, that's the reason they have the Southern Pacific had the cab forward. As the tunnel sat there for so long in the Sierras,
I would just rather
that engineers were passing out here.
Really?
yes, really. I think like one crew just ran their train up the mountain backwards.
Well, no, what they did, they actually designed the engine and the cab was forward.
Oh yeah, the Southern Pacific cab.
Yeah, and they're articulated engines, cab forward. One of them's in the California Museum.
Was it the only survivor?
I think it's the only survivor.
Yeah.
Yes, sole survivor.
This passenger freight combination car attached to it. And I forgot what they call it, but there's 2 of them at the Colorado Museum. And then there's...
Flying geese.
Yes. Galloping geese.
I thought it was flying geese.
Oh, the flying goose, was it?
Galloping goose.
Galloping goose.
Galloping goose.
Yeah.
There it
The
is.
goose arrows and hopping on the goose came the Rio Grande Southern, the galloping goose.
There's 7 of them preserved around Colorado.
Came number 5, the galloping goose.
Taking the car now.
Which the Pioneer Tunnel is actually trying to restore a second team in 119. Still also no 40, like 123.
In United Kingdom, that's where the character Stephanie comes from.
And also Captain Baxter, which actually did appear in one of the Muppet
Look at
movies.
this little meadow here.
It's a little messy.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody's on that black smoke.
A little cool.
Yeah. Look at the old Chevy truck. And the pool. You know what? How much water does one of these use on a trip?
I've seen closer ones like the East Broad Shop and the Great Smoke.
I am not sure, but I can assume like
Another pool. This one is
8,000 gallons.
I mean, they were filling that thing up to the top before.
Yes.
which 611 is going to do excursions when it's free.
Better to have a full tank of water and not needed than needed and not have a full tank of water.
Oh, you saw wells at Frostburg?
Yeah, we saw it down the shop.
What 611 does is, after you're done with maintenance, I would like to see it on the bucket.
Well, it surprised me at Frostburg. I was up there for the show, the site set.
Okay.
And I just drove over there because I knew the train was out. I got over there and the other one would be coming back and I could see it steaming. So I drove in there and I'm sitting there and I look around and all of a sudden I see 611.
Yeah, we actually saw that at Cherry Crest once, which I did not expect it.
I took all my grandkids, all 6 of them.
Could I have a hot chocolate?
Absolutely. That's waiting on him too. Yes, on the sweet tea. I got you. Yeah, just I'll wait till I go back to the chair. It was amazing. Yeah. How hard they have to go just to get you. He said they're spinning the wheels.
Which apparently someone had been stealing parts from 1309 and selling them for scrap.
Scrap?
Yeah, well, some of the parts, not all the parts.
There was a video during the restoration of one of the shops. They were having issues with parts disappearing.
I just got it. Taking big souvenirs.
So we're talking years ago, but apparently there was some issues.
Taking big souvenirs with them?
I guess so, yeah.
Wow.
Also got one of it on the bridge.
Oh, look what I like that. So, the train back there was got right next truck.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
That's another one. Oh. Also saw the engine that had the backdraft explosion in 95. On the engine warehouse.
Up there.
$500 to ride that one?
Those round houses are. I have to say a German one.
No drink.
I mean, they that's
Still using it.
Yeah, it's
This engine actually was pretty much
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Same with another engine that I want to see.
Do they make you chip
Right,
in?
1187.
Have to like.
Same engine.
typically the $50.
80 years. They're probably not. Can I tell you more to clean them up?
Also saw one of 89 surviving siblings.
Ah, yeah.
86. Is that better? Also saw
Well, I'd like to have the contract to cut this fast. If somebody's cutting it. I don't know. Somebody cutting grass.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
The state contract. It's hard as well.
Can.
I get to see it.
Oh, now the engine's working hard.
This boy, yeah, this boy.
Smoke.
He's working now.
Oh, look, another rest area.
That's what I'm saying. If we have bunches more, bring those.
I wish they had a back space the other way so you can see things. So you have a choice of seeing view or train.
I mean, if stuff gets disturbed this week,
Town down there.
that's great.
Oh, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't feel like you need to look at me. Please continue looking there. I get it. That town you just saw, there should be another overlook up here as well as the town of Mount Savage, Maryland. Mount Savage is neat for a few reasons. First and foremost, he's not at work today, but there's a gentleman on the onboard staff named Rick. He lives there, and he likes me to tell people he lives there, so Rick lives there. Additionally, Mount Savage was a very big industrial town, so much so they had their own steam locomotive building plant there to service the coal mines in this area. They also had iron foundries, concrete works, everything. Mount Savage, Maryland is known to help is known to have helped kickstart the American Industrial Revolution. So much so that the very first ever domestically produced T-shaped iron rail was cast in Mount Savage, Maryland. T-shaped iron rails are the same kind we're traveling on now. They have come a long way since the first one ever made. They used to be 3 pieces of metal, 2 sandwiched, and then 1 on top. Now it's all 1 piece. Before that, the United States relied entirely on imports for rail travel. Additionally, I mentioned the coal mining activities here. This area was so prominently known for coal mining that a representative from the White Star Line, which is the same company who constructed the Titanic, when they were nearing completing construction of the Titanic, there was a labor strike in Europe and they needed a very specific type of coal to fire the steam engines in the Titanic. And the Titanic was a steam engine, if you did not know. And if you did not know, steam engines in 1309 is no different or very picky with the type of coal they use to fire their engines. 1309's coal, the majority of it comes from Kentucky because God forbid it's too easy for us to get our hands on it. We can't get it from Maryland. So the Titanic was the same way on a much larger scale. So a representative from the White Star Line reached out to a coal broker in Mount Savage, Maryland, loaded up hundreds of tons of coal onto the back of a freight train, shipped it to the Port of Baltimore, sent it overseas, and some of the things they found on the bottom of the ocean that stood the test of time have been chunks of coal that they believe is from Mount Savage, Maryland. So, Mount Savage. Yeah, but most importantly, Rick lives there.
Same thing goes for a camelback.
Rick lives there.
That's
interesting. I didn't realize the Titanic had steam engines.
Yeah. So remember, everybody, even if you're even when all seems hopeless, always remember, Rick lives in Mount Savage.
What?
I mean, like, we go water skiing, you're going in and out. You have to, because some of the stuff they put in turn into a big
Is it Savage, Maryland, or Mount Savage?
Mount Savage.
What can? Clogging.
Yeah.
Logging. Like the 262 type and the 282 type to get one.
Because the Cass Railroad is a clog train. No, it's not.
It's a logging railroad.
It's logging.
I think it's logging railroad, but it
No
doesn't.
problems on pass. That's why they use the chaise. The chaise is always going to take that grade.
Yeah.
Like if you had a typical steam engine, it would take the grade.
Yeah.
It would just,
Yeah, but I thought
it would just slip and
It's not
slip
called.
and
They use switchback.
I think it's clogged.
Not a gas.
No, not a cast.
That's why.
look, we can go in number 4, which is gonna run on the green wire line.
The train that takes you up High Speed
It's clogged.
is a clog. They just refurbished it. I got to ride the last ride of the old train up and back. Got it like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Came down about 4:30. After that, they shut it down.
You're going to see a bunch of freight cars on the left-hand side of the train. That is known as switch number 9. Switch 9 was named number 9 for the Consolidated Coal Corporation mine number 9 that was here, part of the coal mining activities I talked about in the region. Once we get past switch 9, we are going to veer off to the right, while the trail that's on this side of the train now is going to continue straight. That trail, like I said, was the Western Maryland main line, and it still technically kind of is. It's going to continue going straight. It's going to go west and north up into Connellsville, Pennsylvania. This line that you're riding on is 16.5 miles, and there's a portion of an over 300-mile section of track called the Connellsville extension of the Western Maryland. So technically, you're riding on a very small percentage of what the Western Maryland once had. It was closer to 900 miles in its heyday, meaning you're only riding on about 0.05% of what the Western Maryland once had. However, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go off to the left while the path continues straight. We are gonna enter a separate railroad known as the Cumberland in Pennsylvania. That was a short line railroad that basically went up into Frostburg, down into Mount Savage to service all the businesses that weren't connected to the Western Maryland main line. So we're going to go up a very steep grade. If anyone does not know how grade is measured, everyone drove in here, you came through the mountains, I'm sure you saw 6% grade, truckers use caution, all that stuff. For every 100 feet you travel in distance, every foot in elevation you rise or lose is 1%. So the C&P, the Cumberland, Pennsylvania, is what we call this grade we are about to enter. So that grade maxes out at around 3.5%. Typical railroad locomotives, let alone 1309, which was built in 1949, can handle a grade of up to 4% before they stall out. So the C&P, the grade it is exactly what this engine was designed to tackle. So if everyone's very quiet, even through the glass dome here, you may be able to hear stack talk, which is the chuff chuff sound coming out of the engine. It's going to work very hard to pull us up that grade. Also, another thing worth mentioning, while we go off to the left, that path is going to continue straight and we are going to go above it while it goes underneath us. It's only going to take us about 30 seconds to gain enough elevation for that line to pass underneath. So you will see that when we go under it. Yep.
So it has to work full tilt?
Yeah.
3%, huh?
Yeah. 2%. There's the original path that used to be the original Western Maryland main. We have officially split from the original Western Maryland right-of-way. Had this been 100 years ago, one would have been able to go on a train operated by the Western Maryland along that right-of-way. Yeah. Alright, and that's the original Western Maryland.
There?
Yeah.
No, it's a path.
Yes. Used to be the Western Maryland main, now it's a path. And there it is again.
Feelings, I am a nerd, you will not change me. This stuff, however, is the important stuff unless you want to spend the night in Frostburg. Okay, so now that I have your attention, I'll get the important stuff out of the way first. First of all, when we come to a complete stop, you're more than welcome to come down the steps. You'll go down the same exact way you used to board the train. I'm gonna let you off down to this side of the train this time instead of that side. When we get there, there will be a white shuttle bus that will park to the left of the depot station. That shuttle bus will take you up the short but relatively steep hill into the town of Frostburg. You can walk if you want to. It's a nice day. But that shuttle goes to the top of that hill, which Main Street meets at a T. Anything you could possibly want to do in Frostburg, besides everything that's down by the depot, is at the top of that hill. That shuttle bus holds about 30 people. There's about 150 on board. So a couple quick trips and we can get everyone up the hill. There are restaurants, there are shops at the top of the hill. I could go over each and every one of them, but you want to get off the train, so I'm not going to. What I'd recommend you do is you will have cell service when we get there. I highly recommend just go on Google, make sure for a Sunday where you want to go is open, and then make your game plan accordingly. That's my best advice I can give you. If you decide to go up and get something to eat at a sit-down restaurant, we've been running this train, like I said, for 30 years. They know what time we leave. They will expedite your service to get you back here on time. All right, so just make sure to tell them you're with the train.
All right.
The earliest we can let you back on board, the absolute earliest, unless it starts downpouring, which fingers crossed it won't, is 2:10 p.m. It's right around 12:45 right now, so you have until 2:10. That is the earliest we can let you back on board. The absolute latest I would like you back here and in your seats is 2:20. This train will depart at 2:30 with or without you. If we're missing 2 people, we are not holding up 148 for 2 people. We have to depart at 2:30. So I recommend be back here by 2:20, leave yourself 10 minutes, do not risk getting left behind.
All right.
In the station itself, the depot, there are indoor restrooms. Please take advantage before you hop back on board. Not that using a bathroom on a moving train when this car was built in the 1950s isn't fun, but use the ones that don't move while you're trying to use the bathroom. All right. If there's anything you want to leave on board the train, if you trust me not to touch it, leave it on your seat. I will not touch it. I'm going to clear off the tables. There'll be drink service on the way down. I'll have some little dessert finger food for you on the way down as well. I think that's just about everything. Does anyone have any questions for me? No?
I have one.
What?
So when will 734 return to service?
If you want to come back and help work on it to get it fixed, a while.
Well, there's your answer right there.
We're starting to tear parts off her, so it's a slow tear down catalog process, and then we just got to ship them the flues in if that means anything. So that's cool. All right, no other questions? All right, like I said, the train comes to a complete stop. Come on down, I'll let you out.
Thank you.
Turnaround is down by the station, right?
So, the gentleman asked a question. He's asking about the turntable we have in Frostburg. We do not use it with 1309. The reason for this is I talked about grades earlier. The grade and the sharp curvature of the approach to the turntable is too steep and too sharp for a massive steam engine like 1309 to navigate. If you didn't know, 1309 is situated on a pin at the very center, which allows it to navigate curves that are tight. That curve is so tight, the engine would ride up on top of the rails because it's too tight and derail itself. So the turntable is long enough. It would overhang by about 6 inches on each side, but it would be long enough. We just can't get to it without spending millions of dollars to redo the track and the grade getting to it. So we have a diesel on the rear of the train that's going to control our speed and our descent down the mountain. So that's the way it works with 1309.
Was there a different steam engine that used to pull this?
734. Yes.
I think 734 is now down for required inspection. At long last, we have made it to Frostburg. We will get off here and have some lunch and wait for the train to head back to Cumberland. After all, there was an incident in 1995 which caused all steam locomotives to need mandated inspection periods. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Before we went to Frostburg for some lunch, I decided to get some footage of 1309. Although now I really regret not desiring to go into the cab of 1309.
One more.
That's a turntable down there. Also, I think there used to be a tunnel through the mountains here. After getting some lunch and charging some of the batteries for my camera, because I honestly completely forgot to charge my camera batteries between the B&ORRM Railroad Museum trip and the Western Maryland trip, we went down the mountain back to the Frostburg station.
No, it's not. I barely got a break.
That's better.
Yes, it does feel better.
You have a present?
Well, I mean, kind of everybody on the train are up here, guys.
I want to do one, but so we got more.
Yeah.
Save that for the airport if you want. They took 824 and 49. Although, you know, you're safer.
40,
You're safer in the plane than you are driving me.
3985's tired.
And put them like this. And conducted a whole ceremony simulating driving the golden spike and everything.
Yeah, and also I heard A44 is tender than the whale.
I get emails from.
We have now departed the Frostburg station. Next stop, Cumberland.
Yeah, but it's I forget the website. Or not a website. Yeah, it's a website. It's on email, and I get emails from usually once a week. Or sometimes.
232. They said 230.
Did you hear the 475 accident? It happened on Strasburg on November 2nd, 2022. Points were instead, and the only operation of Norfolk and West.
Did you walk down and see this?
No, my dad showed me. Points were instead, and Norfolk and Western unfortunately died. Hit an excavator head-on, damaging its toolbox. And luckily they got it repaired in under a week. Like they had.
Can I get a drink for the way back down?
Coffee?
You too?
Yes.
Any cream or sugar?
Yes, please.
Damn it.
Good.
I know what I did.
I will have NEC again, and I'll
Go to it's not Signal Weekend. Very often. I only got mail.
like in the tunnel in the bar.
I thought it was sweet.
No, it's German. That's all I know.
I wonder what happened if Strasburg actually did have those.
I was in Germany at the time, and they saw my
You were in Germany?
and we I remember.
engine, there's going to be friction, they're going to heat up, and they're going to work. So 1309 is actually going to be pushing against the diesel engine, which is going to be pushing against 1309. 1309 would win if it actually tried, but we've done we've done load tests for 1309, used 2 diesel locomotives with full dynamic braking. That's the engine braking full power, and it still pulls both of them. So anyway, you might feel a little bit of that still kind of back and forth pushing, and that's because they do have to push against us to keep the lubrication for the pistons going. So just so you guys know, if you feel any sort of back and forth, it's supposed to do that. All right?
That's neat. Yeah, that was the thing I got to dig on the throttle. Whatever the number you say. And the guy that was supposed to take it back down the hill had paid for it.
What if Western Maryland actually did purchase 2 teams at 1309?
I only saw 1309 when they went to rebuild it. They put out
an engine that used to work for this line. So when the original engine.
Well, they put out a support 1309 or rebuild 1309. It wasn't like far up 611 did, but they did a similar thing. And that's how I got to come and blow the whistle. When they steamed it up the first time, all of us that had contributed, they sent us tickets to come and blow the whistle. And they just had the door was actually on the truck. Trucks like that rail didn't have anything under the blower. Wasn't no running gear, all that was off. And so we came to blow the whistle. Well, we grew up in a little town called Nitro, directly across from St. Albans. St. Albans, the C&O, had a big railroad. And
I didn't even know the engine was that the 1309 pushed
aptly named
train.
Cold River. And then they made up the trains and taken to Norfolk and taken to the power plant. So at night, we heard whistles all night. Well, I'm driving in, and I hear the whistle blowing. That's not 1309.
That must have been 734.
No, that's a scenic. That's a B&ORRM or a Western Maryland whistle. Because I'm driving the Western Maryland engine, I knew the whistle, and I said to myself, that's Western Maryland whistle. They've taken the C&O whistle off.
When it's Frostburg, we'll swap them around sometimes. We'll pick up when they change them out.
Yeah.
Like you can get it's like.
Well, we heard it every night for 20-some years.
Yeah.
2 bits. 2.
We go watch them fill up.
2
Just go watch the train fight get started.
Well, that's the reason I asked him about steam engine. And he went, yeah. And I said, where's the C&O? He said they gave it to the C&O Museum. The C&O Museum uses compressed air. And anybody that goes in the museum can blow the whistle.
At least they're using it.
They're using it, they've got compressed air. But it doesn't sound the same. The steam changes.
Yeah, like.
So I actually visited the C&O Museum afterwards. And I told my son, I know where you got that whistle. Love the image. I expected her to say that.
B&O car.
Pictures, please.
Looks like there's more cars for like photo charters.
Can you get my pictures that I've taken?
You don't need to do
I bet you can know how to do
I have learned how to put them on Facebook.
Yeah, I know how to put them on email. I'll put them on email.
It's basically like double the size of that.
Thank you.
Here's some creamer, and I'll be back with the sugar and sweetener.
All right.
Then there's the 466. There are a couple of them left. 82s. I think there are like 2 left. 1 or 2 left. 480.
Oh no, it'd be nice so those tapes on stay out of trouble. Who said that? Jennifer. Huh? Why? I'm going to add that.
Wheel out. Beautiful yard.
Here's 1409 again.
Still following now.
Well, it does, because I'm from a train.
Okay. In a dome car, old chassis 2662 coal train engine. Gin. Why not?
You have a diesel.
Why? Not in our... We're going to need to put some and bullshit. That's all right. They'll figure it out. They know.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Oh, I didn't
You have
touch
a
it.
diesel corn. It smells cool. What it is. That is a lot of smoke.
So I guess it's what
This is almost like the day what Tom spent on the Georgia trip.
Yeah, but the same principle works in all the steamboats. Hired industrial railroads, hired ships even today.
There's a place called Williamsburg. They have a steam engine. They also have like all like the steam traction. It's probably a bad local fire roads on the special lines.
1643 for
There's someplace this cutoff ended up in Michigan. Off of 90. I didn't realize it for about 10 miles. I got off at the next exit. And I just headed south, but 80 had also turned further south. And I went by a place, It'll except from that tree, yeah. Oh yeah, well, it's got a canal in it. Actually, a CNI canal, which is a northern. It's the name of the town. It's right outside of the port.
I don't know. I've never been there.
It's over on the east side. West side.
I don't know that.
It's east side of the port. It's where we had the reunion. We went to that was an Evans train. A lot of these places I've visited, we had in our home. And I tell everybody that we had 6 parents raising 6 children. Yeah, it was like when I was growing up.
Grand Rapids. Henry Court.
I thought it was a single town name, like Fairfield or something like that. Put in everything. But anyway, we traveled after all of us were retired, and I would plan trips with one or other of the family, and we just take a driving tour.
Now this says Henry Court. They're walking through Dearborn.
It's outside of
Oh, is that what it was? That's a full-size truck.
Oh, it's a schedule.
What is it, like an XLT? Is that what they do? You pull up your phone, you pull up. Actually, I kind of like that one. But you can tell you something else. I like that. I love that gun. Your ceiling fan and your silver. But you know what? It looks like a beast. Is it any more beastier than yours? Is it taller? It looks like it's taller. Plus it's over the garage, so it's gonna be warmer. Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, that's just so tall, man. Yeah. I think it is ginormous. Okay, hold on. Let me look at your other sent me something. That's the second picture.
Thinks I'm driving.
Yeah, it does look taller. Yeah, it looks like it's like an 8-inch lift as opposed to a yeah, that's you know why? Because that's definitely not a 6-inch lift. But because the one next to it, the one that looks like a 6-inch lift, maybe that looks tall. It pretty much does. And if you look at the intruder next to it, the white one.
It says there's no internet.
No kidding. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Except for houses. Except for
After all, plenty of people still live off the grid.
Well, they're
The size of that house. This is a big house.
Oh yeah.
well, it's Halloween, the 39 is town.
He's got a lot. Yeah.
Kind of a tourist.
It does look like it's real. Very cool.
But
I don't think I've been if you've taken on the trail. You should be with those guys.
Picture I got of 190 at the Twin Seas.
oh yeah.
That's why I was going in for the first trip. And 12 is in the shop in the background.
Yeah. Okay.
This says Museum of American Dearborn.
Dearborn sounds like I've heard of it. Sounds
Yeah, they give the address. You know what it is? Yeah, that's pretty fun.
I do plan to go there for a railroad. Yeah.
Can you do Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village on the same day? Two separate things.
Yeah, but we're located you could spend all day at the
Yeah. They have 3 sleep locomotives, 2 440s, and a 064. All in operation. They do a Plymouth
I'm very pleased with it.
I got you. Triple?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't really know. That's why I'm sure we have that. A lot of them
They are, I'll tell you my three favorites.
Okay. Today's your Friday.
Oh, we're back in the tunnel.
In the tunnel. Everybody, pay up.
I thought they were closed up.
Thank you. Okay.
Finally.
In the tunnel.
So you got 10 seconds for me.
Breathe these.
Thank you.
The engine out. The engines are barely dry. It's still dry to the train still, but it did not work. After some effort, they got the engine out. Back in the tunnel. They are the Eastern New York Railroad.
Hostetter's curve.
Yep.
See, you get a picture of the diesel.
Oh, looks like a Dash 8's pulling this.
Yeah, that's common for diesels on this railway.
Also, CSX just donated an SD40 from the Western Maryland to the WMSR.
Cumberland did donate a Dash 8, I believe.
I'm gonna have to check that.
Cabin. Good height.
I guess it's many times.
The house.
Yeah, it is. You don't notice it.
I mean, on the highway, coming up 5 miles.
Yeah, the climb up out of,
You got to climb it from here to Frostburg.
the climb up, I just can't remember.
Hi, guys.
I'll take a photo.
It's a ram.
I know.
What was your dad say? Turbines?
Children!
That's why I'm not taking my clothes off. I'm staying on.
Oh, to be that way, yeah.
This is really good butter. Did they sell these? Oh, really? He said the same
Eventually, in about a year and a half,
but it's very good. And I get it. I understand.
my youngest grandchild.
Oh, yeah, you would.
I don't think I have any good bags on board, but I do know
You're going to reach out later? Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll be back. Do you have a preference on, are we doing a line glass or one of the big ones? Okay, do you want one exactly like that, or is there a different one? What?
Yeah, I'm just eating chocolate.
Oh, are all the windows fogging up?
Aware of all the advantages.
You know what it is? It's freezing in here and it's hot out there.
That is definitely one thought.
Blueberries, because blueberries are I'll put extra blueberries in there. I remember, who was it? I think it was Heather's daughter, Madison. Why do you put so much ice in your wine? Well, no, I do like the taste. It's just, I don't need to be drinking that much, so if I water it down, then it's not as, it's just not as bad for me. Well, if it's watered down, I'm drinking like half the alcohol instead of solid alcohol. Yeah, but not. Oh no! But if I were like, if this were a full glass with no ice, that's a lot more than this much with that much ice. So. I figure these could be right here. Yes, I did.
There it is. That's the other.
I got no shame at this point.
That cliff right there.
I have nothing left towards me. What is, I saw my friend Andrea at work. She lives in North Carolina. She's been falling a lot. Like she fell in front of the post office. She fell on her porch. She told her. But I told her, I said,
Little fun fact I missed on the way up. Across Wills Creek here, you'll see a CSX engine. That is called a, well, can't really see.
What? YN3?
It's going to be a
Looks
mixed
like
con.
a
Yeah.
SD70.
So, across the way there, that used to be the former Baltimore and Ohio main line. The Western Maryland, instead of following bodies of water like the B&O and many other railroads did, water carves the path of least resistance throughout the land. It's the more financially reasonable option to build a railroad. The Western Maryland went up and through the mountains in cases like this, making it the most technologically advanced railroad when it was constructed. It was also the most expensive. There was a cost breakdown for the Connellsville extension when it was first created, and it ranged somewhere out. I don't even want to say the exact number because I don't know off the top of my head, but it was hundreds of millions of dollars in today's money to build this extension of railroad, because they had to go up and through the mountains. But it shaved time off of shipping times, which made the Western Maryland a very big competitor against the B&O. Anyway, just in your trip from here to Frostburg, you climbed 1,400 feet in elevation into the Allegheny Mountains, which, just to put that in perspective, is foundation to steeple of the Empire State Building. That's how high you climbed in 16.5 miles.
Horn battle.
You guys probably will hear 1309 blow its horn a bunch. We like to show off a little bit when we have situations like this. Anyway, you did around 32 miles today, round trip, 1,400 feet down, and made it back in one piece. We're close. So, I'll let you sit back and enjoy the sounds.
I can't take a picture.
Well,
these things here.
guess we've beaten the CSX. After having our little horn and whistle battle with the CSX SD70 Mac, probably a rebuilt one at that matter, we soon continue our way to Cumberland.
And for all you train buffs here, I know we got a few here. I don't know if there's any in the back. What they just said over the radio, we have an employee who used to work here. His name's Dan Morris. He is now a conductor for CSX.
Oh, wow.
Dan used to be an engineer here, among a few other things, so we're curious if he's on that train.
That would be
curious. The whistle 1309 is wearing today is a Grand Trunk Western 5-chime. Before that, we had a B&O 6-chime on it, and before that, it was a Hooter, and before that, it was a Hancock 3. We play musical whistles all the time. The Grand Trunk Western 5-chime is what's on it right now.
Sounded like a 6-chime to me, to be honest.
So the B&O 6-chime had a much deeper note to it, but we want this one to stay. We really like it.
It sounds like a Santa Fe 6-chime.
It does. It really does.
Which, how can you tell the difference?
Practice.
By me telling you what's on.
Definitely a perfect answer.
Yep. Takes a lot of practice listening to those whistles.
I'm measuring the frequency.
I think I might have heard of Santa Fe 6-chime at the Great Smoky Mountain whenever I was on 117 Turtle. Bench field. We're almost there. It's like the white passing an original part that's just abandoned. Another tunnel.
No, that's a bridge.
I know, but it's a mini tunnel. Train's point of view.
Well, I had with Kathy Ben's sister-in-law who wanted to blow the horn in the car every time we passed under a bridge like that. She called them tunnels.
Okay.
Blow the horn in the tunnel.
Too relaxing, Mommy.
It was. So when you said that, that reminded me of
Another mini tunnel.
Should we take away from those? I mean, yes, but no. Not enough.
Going in.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick as we pull into the station, just wanted to say, if I haven't mentioned, today's my Friday. It's everyone's Friday. You guys absolutely made my day, so thank you. These days, Fridays either go really well or really bad, the same way it goes for everyone else. So thank you all for making my day. I hope I was able to pass that on just a little bit back to you, but said it's Friday. The second the steam engine has water and everyone's off the train, we are going to go back over to Ridgely Yard across the Potomac and go home. So please double check your seats. Do not leave anything behind. Make sure you have everything before you hop off. Alrighty, be out the same way. We'll go down to the end of the car, down to the right this time, and that'll be that.
Alright.
So again, thank you all very much. Drive safe getting home, and come back in October when the leaves are out. It's insane.
I want to come here when 734 is fully restored.
2 years.
2 years?
If you show up, 2 years.
Given that, hey, I heard that you guys are like considering like bringing Western Maryland 202 here to the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad and restoring it. Is that true?
I live right across the street from 202. If it leaves my backyard, I will let you know.
Alright.
Okay.
It's all been published by the Hagerstown City Council. We gave them a proposal, and if they say yes, then they say yes. We're just waiting on them.
Alright.
Be a pretty big deal though, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
All too soon, we have made it back to Cumberland, Maryland. A dream come true.
Yep, that's what I was gonna do anyways.
Before we got off the train, the kid who was sitting on the opposite side of the train actually said that I sounded very like a guy on YouTube. So I said my channel name and told him that I was Harrison of Colorado, and he recognized me for the 15 words or less videos I have made. He also asked me if possible to do the 442 Atlantic types as the next locomotive types in 15 words or less video to do, to which I actually said that I would do. And also, here's the back of the shirt he was wearing, to which he actually said I could take a pic of. Thank you.
Absolutely. What nice having you guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. I couldn't believe that there was somebody who recognized my YouTube channel. Yeah, my voice. Yeah, I couldn't believe there was somebody who recognized my voice. Yeah, hang on. Let me take a pic of the front of the engine.
We can go down here. You want to take the diesel?
Okay, it's a bit far. Huh?
Go down this way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd kind of like to get a shirt from the shop.
And I want to go to the last one.
Thank you. Gone. And with me recording the train heading out the station and into the yard, our trip to the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad has finished. Unfortunately, there was a CSX First Responders locomotive coming down the line, and I did not have enough time to see 911.
This isn't the biggest parking lot in the world for Tonka trucks.
Nope. Also, speaking of steam locomotives, remember Western Maryland 202 at Hagerstown? Hagerstown decided that it didn't want to give 202 to the Western Maryland. And as it turns out, when I was taking this entire trip, the prototype Amtrak Aero train was in Denver Union Station, and I was not at Denver when it was at Union Station. But regardless, that whole trip had been so fun, especially seeing a relative of mine that I hadn't seen in a while. However, the trip has come to an end all too soon, and it's time for me to head back to the airport and head back home to Denver. I've made it back to Dulles, and I'm about to head on the underground people mover for my plane.
The main terminal. Follow signs for baggage, signs, ground transportation, and connections to gate C, train is out of service. Please do not board.
The A380s won't be nearly as special as the 747. Won't be as special as the 747. I finally got on a plane after a lot of delays, but unfortunately I had the misfortune of getting a middle seat, so I decided to settle on reading some manga, and eventually I got to Denver.
The doors are closing. Please keep clear and hold on for departure to all A gates. Exit here for all A gates. Please watch your step. The doors are closing. Please keep clear and hold on for departure to terminals, ground transportation, and baggage claims.
Welcome to Denver. This is Brenton Doyle, two-time Gold Glove center fielder for the Colorado Rockies. In summertime in my high city, this is the best time to catch a baseball game. We hope you enjoy your time in Denver. See you at the ballpark and go Rockies.
Hold on, please. We are approaching the terminal, ground transportation, and baggage claims. This is the terminal. All passengers, please.
And with me getting back to Denver, I got home, and our trip has concluded. Thank you all for watching these two videos, and until next time, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Have a good day, y'all.